Good evening to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about the Kaveri Waters dispute. It's all about the bone of contention between Karnataka state and Tamil Nadu state. It starts with the stand taken by the Supreme Court because the Karnataka state approached the apex body, and based on that, that is a stimulus, the stand taken by the Supreme Court. Then it talks about why Karnataka state had to go to the apex body, and earlier what happened, the expectations of Tamil Nadu state. Then it talks about the actual problem, good times, bad times, and it also refers to the expert bodies. There are two bodies, and finally it talks about the solution. What is a permanent solution for this problem, especially when it comes to the low rainfall years or distress years? Let us have a look at the tone of the editorial. The tone of the passage or editorial is primarily informative and analytical, purely objective stand taken by the writer, no personal opinion. It provides information about the Kaveri water dispute. It's all about the Kaveri water dispute, the actions taken by Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and the involvement of various authorities such as the Supreme Court, the CWMA, the CWRC. Additionally, it offers an analysis of the situation, what exactly the problem, and it also provides highlighting the need for a permanent formula for water sharing and emphasizing the importance of domain expertise over politics in resolving the dispute. Is a video on? Please give the feedback. Is a video on? Analysis, crisis. Very good. I appreciate. Additionally, it offers an analysis of the situation, highlighting the need for a permanent formula for water sharing and emphasizing the importance of domain expertise over politics in resolving the dispute. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let us go to. Yes, you can use a plural form, waters, nothing wrong with that. Usually students ask me, sir, can we use a word water in the plural form? I always tell them nothing wrong with that. That's a standard expression. The Kaveri waters, nothing wrong. How does the editorial start? Expertise over politics. What do you understand? It is not politics that is important, it is expertise that matters. So we have to consider the domain expertise, not politics. That's what it means. But in what is the context on the Kaveri water dispute? There's one word here, expertise. We have got many a time, part of speech noun. You can say expertise also, but generally we say expertise. Means what? Expert, skill, or knowledge. Expert, skill, or knowledge. Expertise over politics. It means we should not consider politics, we should consider domain expertise on the Kaveri water dispute. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Litigation over water can be avoided only with fixed distress sharing norms. If you remember, we have already done, last week I think I did one editorial based on the Kaveri water dispute. Context is familiar, but a lot of words you can learn, new expressions you can learn, and try to focus more on comprehension. The reason being, it's a familiar topic. I did last week. There's one word here, litigation. Whenever I write the word, you try to guess a part of speech. That is very good, Anusha. You have written all the subjects and also diseases. They take a singular verb. Litigation, part of speech, noun. But there is another noun form that goes with a person. He is a litigant. Litigation. What does it mean? To or the process. It is a process. The process of taking legal action. The process of taking legal action, we say litigation. Litigation over water can be avoided. Here, can be avoided, it is in passive voice. We can avoid something, active voice, something can be avoided, passive voice. Only with, how can we avoid litigation over water? Only with fixed distress sharing norms. There are two words here. We have already got, last time also they used the same word distress, part of speech noun. What does it mean? A state of being in a state, a particular state, a state of anxiety, worry, or sorrow. At the time of COVID 19, they would use this word with migrant workers. That time, migrant workers were in distress. Distress sharing norms. In this context, distress, lack of rainfall, and norms. Norms also we have got many a time. Please write the part of speech when I write the word noun. Means norm singular, norms plural. A standard, a particular standard, a particular way of doing things, or a particular practice, yardstick. Very good. I'll write that here. Who is that? Anusha. Norms, standards, guidelines, yardstick. Yardstick is a good word. Standard also. That is a word you have to think of. So, what is the main idea? The editorial says there's a problem here. What is the problem? There's a bone of contention or the apple of discord, the Kaveri waters. Litigation over water can be avoided only with fixed distress sharing norms. It starts with, any editorial has to start with, and what is a broad outline? I have already said, I would like to repeat, and whatever you see on the right goes with that particular idea. It starts with the main idea, that is, we have to, how can we solve or avoid with fixed distress sharing norms? Then the stimulus. First sentence is about the stimulus. Why have they written this editorial? Based on the stand taken by the Supreme Court. Then it goes to Karnataka State's stand and reason. Then it goes to Tamil Nadu State's expectations, the court's response, and a CWMA order, time of dispute, not the right time, editorial opines, years of abundance, good times, and dispute, reasons when there is no rainfall, expectations in deficit years, and finally, it presents an opinion and advise the solution, how and what impact that will make, and also reiteration of the same idea. What is it? Expertise over politics. Let us go to the stimulus, why they had to write this editorial. In declining to interfere with the order of the Kaveri Water Management Authority, directing Karnataka to release 5,000 cubic feet of water per second, Q6, to Tamil Nadu until September 27. A lengthy sentence, it is not over. But here there is one word, decline. We have got this word many a time. It has two different meanings. What part of speech is it? Decline, verb. Decline, one meaning, decrease, go down in quality, standards, number. And second meaning of decline, to refuse. For that, you can also use reject. Who is that? The diva. Yes, you're right. That is a second meaning. As I said, the word has two different meanings. One meaning, decrease in numbers, quality, standards. The second meaning, to refuse, to reject. Here, it goes with the second meaning, not the first meaning. In declining, refusing to interfere with the order of the CWMA, directing, what is the order? Directing Karnataka to release 5,000 cubic feet of water per second to Tamil Nadu until September 27th. The Supreme Court has rightly chosen to defer to the wisdom of an expert body that is better placed to apportion the available water in a rainfall deficit year. Such a lengthy sentence. But in a nutshell, first I'll give the meanings of the words, then I will tell about the sentence. We have two words here. One is defer. It has two different meanings. Part of speech, it's a verb. It's a regular verb. One meaning, usual meaning, many students know, postpone. I'm sure you all know this meaning, postpone, but it does not go with this context. What is the second meaning? A respect. A respect one's opinion. In this context, it means the second, not the first. I'm explaining that, Venkatesh Sharma. Please listen. General meaning of the word defer, postpone, but that does not go with this context. Here, the Supreme Court has chosen present perfect. To defer to the wisdom means what? Respect the wisdom of an expert body. Defer means respect one's opinion. That is a meaning that goes with this context. To the wisdom of an expert body, in this context, CWMA, that is better placed to apportion. Apportion, I guess we have got for the first time. It means what? To share or to give out. In this context, to share what? The Kaveri waters. Apportion the available water in a rainfall deficit year. This editorial, last time also I did the same editorial, if you remember. It's all about when there is abundance of water, there is no problem. Karnataka state releases water because it has to. The reservoirs touch the brim and overflow of water. But the problem surfaces whenever there is a deficit rainfall, whenever there is a dry spell, or whenever there is a drought. No rainfall, scanty rainfall, dry spell, no water, then we call it distress year or deficit rainfall. Then the problem surfaces. So this lengthy sentence talks about the Supreme Court's response when the Karnataka state approached regarding the order which says Karnataka state has to release 5,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu state. And based on the Supreme Court has responded based on that. What is the stand taken by the Supreme Court? It has respected the wisdom of an expert body and it refused to interfere. It respected the opinion or the wisdom of the expert body that is better placed to apportion the available water in a rainfall deficit year. Now it provides the background information why Karnataka state had to go to Supreme Court and why before that what Tamil Nadu state expected and what the order was. Here Karnataka had approached past perfect, first action, so it isn't past perfect. The apex court, in this context, the Supreme Court, against the order given by CWMA, against the order contending that, again, an important word, contend has two different meanings. And what is a noun form contender? Contend one meaning to compete. Another meaning in this context to assert one's position, one's position in an argument or in a dispute. Assert means to state firmly, to assert one's position in an argument or in a dispute. In this context, what is a dispute? Sharing of the Kaveri waters. Karnataka had approached the apex court against the order, contending that it was suffering from a shortfall of over 53% in inflows to its reservoirs this year following a weak southwest monsoon. Karnataka state approached the Supreme Court saying that it was suffering from a shortfall of 53% in inflows to its reservoirs this year. And what is the reason for that shortfall? Following a weak southwest monsoon, and was not in a position to release 5,000 cusecs for 15 more days. Because it did not get enough water, it approached the Supreme Court saying that because of the shortfall of rain, it cannot or it is not in a position to release 5,000 cusecs for 15 more days. This is on the negative side. At the same time, the editorial talks about something positive about Karnataka state. It starts with the expression to its credit. This is an important expression you have to remember. To its credit, the upper riparian, you can say riparian, riparian. We got this word last time also. I gave the meaning. I don't know how many of you remember. Part of speech adjective. Situated along the banks of a river. The banks of a river. So riparian state. Situated along the banks of a river. Here, last time also the writer used two expressions, one riparian state, and used two terms like upper and lower. In this context, upper riparian state or riparian state is Karnataka, and the lower riparian state is Tamil Nadu. That one has to know to comprehend. To its credit, the upper riparian state means Karnataka state has been complying with. Tell me which tense is that? Has been complying with present perfect continuous tense. When do we use a present perfect continuous? Imagine some action started in the past, it is in the present, and it may go into future. Then we have to use present perfect continuous. I have been teaching since 6 o'clock. I have been teaching for the last 15 minutes. Present perfect continuous. I started at 6. Now I'm teaching. I will teach till 7. Same context, has been complying with. And you have to recollect the two prepositions that go with present perfect and present perfect continuous. But here there is one important word, comply. It takes a preposition with. Always remember the prepositional combination. Comply is a verb. Comply, complied, complied. I can give a lot of expressions. To follow, simple. To stick to, simple. To adhere to, better. To abide by, much better. This is an important one they have given many a time. Comply with, it goes with rules and regulations. And we all follow the law. For us, there's an expression. What is it? Law abiding. We are all law abiding citizens. Oh, I'm sorry. Law abiding citizens. You have been listening to me since 7, not 6. You're right. Thank you. So it talks about something positive. To its credit, the upper riparian state has been complying with the CWMA's order amid. Already we have got this word. What does it mean? In the middle of, surrounded by pressure and protest from some political parties and organization. From some political parties and organization. That is quite natural. Now it talks about the stand, why Supreme Court, why Karnataka. Before that, what happened? Earlier, Tamil Nadu had approached, again past perfect tense, the court in mid August to seek. We have got the word seek many a time, and I give the expression that goes with you people. What is that? Your job seekers. Seek means to search for, to look for. Earlier, Tamil Nadu had approached the court in mid-August to seek directions for water release from Karnataka's reservoirs, so that the quantum stipulated for it for the second half of August and whole of September could be realized. There are three words in this sentence. One, quantum. What do you understand quantum? It is a noun, means amount. You can also say magnitude. Amount, magnitude. Quantum of water, amount of water, and stipulated. When you take the exam, you cannot take your own sweet time. You have to answer the questions within the stipulated time period. Stipulate, part of speech verb. What does it mean? Specify. Specified time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So that the quantum stipulated for it for the second half of August and whole of September could be realized. In this context, could be realized means they should become a reality. They should be implemented. That's what it means. Based on that, the court had then sought. Again, we have past perfect. Today's editorial so many times past perfect tense. The court had then sought a report from the CWMA, which has spelled out the extent of the distress this year. The court wanted the report from which authority, expert body, CWMA, and that expert body has spelled out present perfect, the extent of the distress this year. Distress, a situation of anxiety, worry, or sorrow. And here, spelled out, it is an important expression. First, I'll write the basic form. Why is it important? Last time also, I told you guys, spell out means it's a phrasal verb. What does it mean? Tell in detail. But why is this important? It goes with common errors. What is a common error? Some people say, please spell it out in detail. Is this right or wrong? Please spell it out in detail. It is a common error. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Spell out means to tell in detail. Then we cannot say, please spell it out in detail. In detail, you should not use. That becomes redundancy. So please spell it out. That is enough. Don't add in detail. Common error. The 15-day period for which the current CWMA order is applicable ends on September 27th. This sentence talks about that order, and when it ends, the order is applicable, ends on September 27th, and the authorities assisting body, there's another expert body. What is it? The Kaveri Water Regulation Committee, CWRC, is scheduled to meet, an important expression. It also takes the preposition for. That is also a standard expression. Generally, a particular meeting or a particular program, we say scheduled for tomorrow. Scheduled for tomorrow, one expression. Scheduled to meet, another expression. Both are correct. He is scheduled to meet on September 26th to consider the situation afresh with a new perspective or from a fresh approach, with a fresh approach. The dispute has surfaced. The writer has used a lot of present perfect, past perfect many a time. Here it is in present perfect. The dispute has surfaced after a few years, once again highlighting the fact that the parties, here the two states, need a regular formula to share the shortfall and distress in years when the monsoon fails. This is the main idea, the crux, the most important thing. Once again highlighting the fact that the parties need a regular formula to share the shortfall and distress in years when the monsoon fails. Abundance of water, no issue. Shortfall, it's an issue. That time they should have a formula to share the shortfall and also the distress. That is important. Last time also the editorial talked about the same dimension. This is the first part. Now let us go to second part. Talks about what exactly happens when there is excess water, what happens when there is a shortfall, and what is the role of the two expert bodies, what is the stand taken by the editorial regarding the solution, and what solution does it suggest, how does it end. In years of abundance, excess water, there is little difficulty. Tell me, what does it mean? I'll take a pause. I want you guys to respond. There's little difficulty means what? Ah, wonderful. I appreciate that. Who is this? Nagamani, you're here after a long time. Here, there is little difficulty means what? That's an important thing you have to grasp. In years of abundance, I appreciate all those synonyms: plenty, plethora, bountiful, affluent, opulence. Yes. No one has responded. There is a little difficulty means no difficulty. Very good. Who is this? Anumula Nivedita. Nivedita. Very good. No difficulty. After that, Anusha, Naidu, all these, Venkatesh Rama. and Abhi also. In years of abundance, there's no difficulty. There's little difficulty means no difficulty whatsoever in Karnataka releasing the water in compliance with the final award of the Kaveri Water Disputes Tribunal. Along with complying with the Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal, it abundance water, no issues, as modified by the Supreme Court in 2018. Now the editorial says why not a problem for Karnataka to release waters when there is in years of abundance. It is well known that much of this release is a natural downstream flow of water during heavy rainfall from brimming reservoirs. Heavy rainfall reservoirs, then water touches the brim. Brim means what? The border. If you take a container, you start pouring water and finally it reaches this level, then we say it has touched the brim. When it touches the brim, you keep pouring, then what happens? It overflows. The sentence talks about the same thing. Releasing water in years of abundance, not an issue. One of the reasons for that, it is well known that much of this release is a natural downstream flow of water during heavy rainfall from brimming reservoirs. Brimming reservoirs, obviously, water goes down, overflows. Then it talks about the bad times. It is only during deficit years that the states involved feel that the court will pass favorable orders even if the CWMA does not. CWMA passes an order that may be good, may not be good from a particular state's point of view, but both the states expect something from the court. They expect that they get a favorable order. The sentence talks about that. It is only during deficit years that the states involved feel that the court will pass favorable orders even if the CWMA does not. This kind of yearly adjudication part of speech noun, but what is the verb form adjudicate? Verb means to judge something. Spill over, that's right. It is only during deficit years that the states involved feel that the court will pass favorable orders even if the CWMA does not present negative form. This kind of yearly adjudication and seasonal litigation should not become the norm, should not become a standard, should not become a standard practice. Now, editorial expresses the opinion. This sentence talks about the opinion taken by the editorial. The CWMA should, we use a helping verb should to advise or suggest. The CWMA should utilize the opportunity to come up with a permanent formula on how to assess deficit in a given year. Editorial says CWMA expert body should utilize the opportunity to come up with means present an idea, present something, a permanent formula on how to assess deficit in a given year. But when it comes to this assessment also, the states may agree, may not agree. Even on the manner of assessment of deficit, the two states have divergent views. Divergent means what? Same or different? They have different views. Again, the editorial says, opinion, it is now up to the CWMA and the CWRC in gathering data on rainfall, inflows, and storage to evolve an acceptable formula to apportion the shortfall in an equitable way. Now it says the onus. Onus means what? Responsibility. The onus is on CWMA and CWRC. And what are they supposed to do? In gathering data on rainfall, inflows, and storage to evolve an acceptable formula to apportion the shortfall, to share the shortfall in an equitable way. It is inevitable. We have got this earlier, we got many a time, but after a gap of perhaps 2 or 3 weeks. Inevitable means what? Part of speech adjective. Inevitable situation. Inevitable means only one word you have to think of. Unavoidable. inevitable, unavoidable. Very good. It is inevitable that neither state will be satisfied with the quantum of release ordered by the CWMA. Whatever the order given by CWMA, Karnataka will not be happy, Tamil Nadu will not be happy. Based on that, it is inevitable that neither state will be satisfied. They won't be satisfied. But it is at this point that politics should yield to domain expertise. It is reiterating, this part reiterates the main idea. What is the main idea? Politics should yield to domain expertise. Should, advise or suggest, yield. Yield has two different meanings. Generally, yield, it can be a verb, it can be a noun. It goes with agriculture, then yield means what? Produce, positive meaning. But yield can also be a verb and it has a negative connotation. What does it mean? To surrender. And there's one important phrasal verb. What is it? Give in. Give in also means to surrender. Yield means to surrender or to give in. So the editorial opines at this stage, because they're not going to be happy, whatever the order is, at this stage they have to keep politics aside, and politics should yield to domain expertise. Domain, a particular field, expertise, special skill or knowledge. It is crystal clear the stand taken by the editorial. Now let us go to questions with multiple options based on reading comprehension skill. Read the first one and try to choose the correct option. What was the Supreme Court's decision regarding the Kaveri water dispute mentioned in the passage? What stand the Supreme Court has taken? The Supreme Court ordered Karnataka to release 5,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu. You have to say yes or no. No, A is not correct. The Supreme Court directed Tamil Nadu to release water to Karnataka. That is not the context. The Supreme Court deferred the decision to the Kaveri Water Regulation Committee. The decision of the Kaveri Water Regulation Committee means what? Respected the decision of CWRC, CWMA. Answer is C. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Karnataka, not correct. It respected the expert body's decision. What is the role of the Kaveri Water Regulation Committee in the Kaveri water dispute? This is a bit difficult to answer. Please read very carefully. Try to take elimination approach. The CWRC enforces water sharing agreements between the states. No. The CWRC provides legal guidance. Why will it provide legal guidance? It should be either the first one or the second one. The CWRC mediates between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in resolving the dispute. This seems right. And second one also seems right. The CWRC gathers data on rainfall and inflows for both states. But there's a catch here. There's a rub here. What is it? The editorial says not CWRC alone. It talks about two expert bodies. One is CWMA, the other one is CWRC. Both, it mentions both the expert bodies, not only one. Based on that, we cannot say B is the answer. It should be A. The CWRC mediates between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in resolving the dispute. In resolving the dispute. No, you have to choose only one. Answer should be resolving the dispute. It plays a crucial role. According to the passage, why is a permanent formula for water sharing needed in the Kaveri water dispute? According to the passage, why is a permanent formula for water sharing needed in the Kaveri water dispute? No, Anusha, B cannot be considered because the editorial mentioned two bodies. Had it been only one body, it would have been correct. But it mentioned it is the responsibility of two bodies to gather information. What are the two bodies? CWMA and CWRC. Then you cannot consider B. I hope you got it. To ensure that Karnataka releases water only in years of abundance? No. To prevent yearly adjudication and seasonal litigation in deficit years. Question number 3. Why is a permanent formula for water sharing needed in the Kaveri water dispute? To prevent yearly adjudication and seasonal litigation in deficit years. Answer is B. No, 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 not C. Mentioned in the passage, it is based on explicit information. They have to find a solution to prevent yearly adjudication and seasonal litigation in deficit years. Answer is B, obviously. Question number 4. What does the passage suggest should take precedence over politics in resolving the Kaveri water dispute? What is important? Politics or something else? What is that something else? Editorial starts with that idea, ends with that idea. Easy to answer. What does the passage suggest should take precedence over politics in resolving the Kaveri water dispute? Legal action and court orders? No. Equitable distribution of water? No. Authority of the CWMA? No. Domain expertise and data driven decisions. They should take precedence over politics. Politics should yield to domain expertise. The last sentence. Answer is the fourth option. You should write, this is like write about this editorial in brief, but don't do it now. After the session, please write about the editorial because this is the second time in the recent past. Familiar context, you know the problem, you know the bone of contention, you know the apple of discord between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And second time, familiar context, familiar words. You should be able to write about the editorial in brief. That will give you confidence. Now let us go to error location practice questions based on exam topics. I have brought 5 questions, error location. Read the first one and try to spot the error. The gang members confessed that they have been obtaining bank account details of their victims from the source based in Nigeria. No, the subject is what? 1 out of 4. That is a bit surprising, Nagesh. No, what they're not challenging. Why you? Perhaps the reason could be you haven't got enough time. This is a live session. I haven't given enough time, so you had to answer quickly. That could be the reason. A few more seconds, you would have answered all the 4. There is gang members is the subject. Gang, then you have to use a singular verb. The gang members, it's a noun phrase. Any phrase you have a keyword. What is the keyword here? Members, plural. So you cannot use has, that is ruled out. But here there's a verb in past, confessed. It is like indirect speech. Then it changes to a corresponding past tense. They must have said we have been obtaining present perfect continuous, changes to past perfect continuous. They said that, they confessed that they had been obtaining. So, what is this question about? Past perfect continuous tense. Why should we use past perfect continuous tense? Because the reporting verb is in past. What is the reporting verb here? Confess. It is in past, confessed. Then the tenses change to a corresponding past tense. Read question number 2, a lengthy sentence, looks like a paragraph. Members of several farmer outfits in Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh staged demonstrations on Monday to protest on the centre's agriculture related ordinances and to demand their immediate withdrawal. So, where is the error? Which question are you talking about? Based on indirect speech, not based in. Based on, the question is based on indirect speech, based on tenses, based on prepositional combination. If you're talking about that, I don't know what exactly you're trying to find out. Members of several farmer outfits in Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh. Nothing wrong with that. Members, subject, of several farmer outfits in Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh. Nothing wrong. Staged demonstrations, subject, verb, object, when on Monday. No problem as such. To protest on is not correct. Someone has written, who is at Naidu. To protest, protest takes, what is a preposition? Protest against, not protest on. Okay, thank you, Haripriya. Protest against the center's agriculture related ordinances and to demand their immediate withdrawal. Question is based on prepositional combination. In a scenario where each of these sectors is contracting so sharply, it would lead to either a growing number of people losing jobs or failing to get one or even both. In a scenario, an important phrase you have to remember. What is a scenario where each of these sectors, each means you have to use a singular verb, of these sectors, phrase, put it in brackets, each is contracting so sharply, it would lead to either, it would lead, nothing wrong with that. You can also say it will lead, it would lead. Would expresses a personal opinion, refers to future, nothing wrong with that. It would lead to either a growing number of people, but the error is quite obvious. Tell me, where is the error? Ah, exactly. Losing jobs. What is the verb here? Lose, verb. And what is the past form? Lost, lost. And we have another word, lose. What is it? Adjective. It is opposite of tight. Loose shirt, tight shirt. Here we are talking about lose, a verb, and what is the present participle form? Losing, Losing. But you have to recollect another word. What is it? Loss, noun, opposite of profit. Here, losing, what is the correct spelling? Losing, losing jobs. There's an error. I've just explained. Spelling is not correct. Loosc means lose, opposite of tight. Here we are not talking about that. We are talking about the verb losc, ing form, losing. Go to question number 4, a lengthy sentence. Several indicators of the doing business survey presume that less regulation is better, but ignore the impact of health, ecology, worker protection, and right to information. Every time this one. Nothing wrong with the word ignore. No, Anusha, nothing wrong. Pandu also, ignoring? No, no, nothing wrong. This is the name of the report, survey, doing business survey. That is not a verb. That's why I have brought it in capital letter. Doing business survey. Nothing wrong with that. Indicators, then you cannot use presumes. No. Indicators, plural. No, 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 nothing wrong. That's what I was talking about. Several indicators of the doing business survey. Indicators presume that less regulation is better. Nothing wrong. but ignore the impact. Impact takes which preposition? Impact of health? No way. Impact on. Ignore the impact on. The survey says indicators presume that less regulation is better, but they ignore something. What do they ignore? But ignore the impact on health, ecology, worker protection, and right to information. Impact on. That is a prepositional combination. We cannot say impact of health. No, something makes an impact on health, not impact of health. Under pressure, not easy. Don't feel guilty. A revamped indicator should reward, not penalize, investments in workers' skills, health and safety, low polluting activities, and climate resilience. Exactly, prepositional combination. Impact on. Question number 50. A revamped indicator should reward. A revamped indicator subject should do what? Reward, not penalize. Investments in. Okay, no problem. Very good. Anusha, first one, she got it right. Investments in workers' skills. Here we are talking about noun in the plural form, not one worker, workers. When a particular noun ends in a particular plural noun ends in the letter S, then we should use the apostrophe after the letter S, not before. Workers, then apostrophe, worker skills, health and safety, low polluting activities, and climate resilience. Revamped, rejigged. Oh, Madhav, you are there. This is from yesterday's editorial, Cloze Test. You easy one, an easy one. You should get all the all the six correct. I have brought only 6 blanks. This is unfortunately not the first instance of Beijing using what? Syllabus, syllabi. Beijing using what sort of events? Events, noun. You need an adjective. Try to get all the 6 correct. That is a challenge. That is objective. But nowadays you're not responding a lot, Madhav. You have become, there's one expression in English, silent man of Samburg. Have you heard of that? Very quiet, no participation. Earlier, your name would pop up quite often. Sporting events, very good. What is the first one here? E is the answer. Sporting events. I'll write here, it'll be easy for you. Sporting events that should have no place for politics to what? Score geopolitical points. Here it is C. In February last year, Beijing what? Ill-advisedly, very good. F is the answer. Selected the People's Liberation Army's commander involved in the Galvan Valley clash as one of the torch bearers would have been better. Where is it? One of the means noun should be in the plural form. One of the torch bearers for the Winter Olympics. Coming to the fag end of the paragraph, the acting president of the Olympic Council of Asia, Randhir Singh, who met with the president, Xi Jinping, in remarks to journalists, chose not to call out. I'm going to ask you, not now, later you can tell. So, what is the answer here? D. The denial. What are you left with? B. Denial of entry to the athletes. Today I could not bring lack of time, the para jumble, tight schedule. Now we'll go to the last slide. Words you got yesterday. Effective words. 13 words, I suppose. Hmm. Try to write the part of speech. No, you have to answer now. We have here call out. That's why I did not ask you. Denial. Part of speech, noun. What is the verb form? Deny. It has two different meanings. Both the meanings you have to write. Deny, denial. Deny, two different meanings. One is what? To say no. Second one, to reject or to refuse. Very good. Spectacular fireworks. Spectacular opening ceremony. Spectacular display. Means what? Bit surprised regarding what, Nagesh? I've gone to the second one. You have to respond to the second one. Eye-catching, striking, breathtaking, wonderful, magnificent, spectacular, mind-blowing. Yes, that's right. Very good. Over, over. Solidarity, part of speech, noun. Solidarity, unity. Very good. Unity. Grand also you can say, Ramesh. Unity is the exact word. Showcase can be, yes, yes, that is true. Tomorrow you can expect an editorial, Manasa. I'm expecting that as an editorial. Sooner or later, there will be one editorial on Indian athletes, sports persons' performance in the sporting event, Asian Games. Showcase can be a noun, can be a verb. As a noun, you all know, as a verb, to display, to exhibit. Call off means to cancel. Who is that Vikram World? Call off, they called off the match. They called off the meeting, means cancelled the match and cancelled the meeting. Call out has many meanings based on editorial to object officially, official objection to an unacceptable behavior. That is going, it is there, you have to wait for some time. Accreditation, noun. What does it mean? Official recognition. What is the other article? A little bit enigmatic, mysterious. Which one? Today's editorial. Pandu, are you talking about today's second short editorial? Bar can be a noun. I'm sure you all know can be a verb. Based on the editorial used as a verb, what does it mean? To prohibit, vindicative, avengeful, revengeful. But here, prohibit. Very good. Today's, uh, the reason for bringing this one, though it's a familiar one we did last week, a lot of words are there. And also, I have been telling you guys, based on this, quite often the topics are repeated, the context is repeated, the words are repeated. And as you keep reading the Hindu editorials, you become very good at contextual awareness, a reading comprehension skill, vocabulary, grammar, effective English, and same stuff you get in the exam. Then you answer many questions with a broad smile, but you got to have patience. You have to read the Hindu minimum 6 months every day, consistently, one editorial, not more than maximum 60 minutes, not 1 second beyond that. But to save your time, you attend this, then after the session, you spend 10-15 minutes, everything becomes crystal clear. Vindictive, part of speech, noun, but actually it is an adjective. Vindictive stand, avengeful, revengeful. Call out, officially object, and unacceptable behavior. This is a phrasal verb, obviously. But what is the meaning? Officially object something that is not acceptable. Persist, last for a long time, exist for a long time. That is also a regular verb. Stance, noun, stand. What is a stand taken by you? What is your stance? Means what's your opinion? Endure, a regular verb. That also means last for a long time, exist for a long time. That's all about today's editorial. I hope you guys have got enriched. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Today it's almost 7:55. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, and do remember to subscribe and share. Endure pain, one combination. Endure hardships. Endure problems. Endure pain. Endure poverty. Endure penury. Blood feud. You can use that also. Blood feud goes with a different context. This vindictive goes with a different context. That's very good. Cause of dispute. Sir, may I know what is bone of contention, apple of discord? Bone of contention is an idiom. Apple of discord is also an idiom. Both mean the same. They mean cause of dispute. Cause of dispute. What is the cause of dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu? The Kaveri water.